Hey everybody, it's your boy Beardo. I'm here to give you my #1 tip for how to become a great lover. In exchange for this valuable information, I ask that you like and subscribe both here and on my other channel, which is about cryptocurrency, and it's called Proof of Pod. I recently did an interview about Andrew Tate and his connection to Bitcoin. So whether you love him or hate him, go ahead and go check that out. This tip should be very valuable to you whether you are in a long-term relationship or whether you are having an encounter with someone for the first time. When I was doing research for this video, I had a hard time finding a agreed upon list of the stages of sex. The most standard list that I could find was described by Masters and Johnson in 1966, and it is excitement, plateau, orgasm, and resolution. While perhaps physiologically accurate, this list is not particularly helpful to a guy trying to navigate to a mutually satisfactory sexual encounter. So I came up with my own list. Stage 1, connection. Stage 2, foreplay. Stage 3, intercourse. Stage 4 is the focus of this video, and I'm going to reveal that in a minute. And stage 5 is conclusion. Connection is typically a date. If you are in a long-term relationship, it might be just spending some quality time with one another. If it's someone you just met, it might be spending some time drinking or dancing together. This is a very important stage, but it's not the focus of this video. Foreplay is hugging, kissing, touching, oral sex, and so on. I would say that most advice that tells men how to get better at sex tells men to spend more time in foreplay, and I think that's very good advice. However, foreplay is not the focus of this video. Intercourse is the stage that gets the most attention, especially from men. It's not the focus of this video, but the important thing to note here is that intercourse is often focused around male pleasure and male orgasm. Stage 4 is the focus of this video, and I'm going to get to that in just a second. But I want to ask you, do you know what it is? Can you guess? Stage 5 is conclusion. This is typically characterized by cuddling. Important physical and emotional needs are satisfied during this stage, especially for the woman. But it's not the focus of this video. Stage 4 is so little talked about that if it has a name, I don't know what the name for it is. So I'm going to call it afterplay. And I'm going to define it as afterplay is the stage of sex after one or more participants has orgasmed and they attend to the needs of the other participant. Let's start with the less typical scenario. The woman orgasms during foreplay or intercourse, and the man does not orgasm. The woman becomes too sensitive to continue with penetrative sex. Now, you can be assured that the man will be sorely disappointed if the woman does not help him reach an orgasm. We have a name for this. It's called blue balls. However, very little consideration is given to the female equivalent of blue balls. So, gentlemen, let us apply the golden rule and do for women what we would have women do for us. Now let's examine the more typical scenario. Stages 1, 2, and 3 have gone well. The man orgasms. He experiences great physical relief. But now that his main objective is accomplished, he's not quite sure what to do. Thoughts about work or chores might come flooding in. He might get very sleepy. He might be grappling with questions like, was I good? Did she come? Does she want to cuddle? Are we going to spend the night together? And sometimes, how can I get out of here as quickly as possible without looking like a total asshole? Here's what I think the man should be asking himself in this situation. Have her sexual needs been satisfied? If not, what should I do to satisfy them? How do you get these questions answered? Well, some communication is required. Female orgasms are notoriously difficult to detect, especially with someone that you have never been with before. So this has led to an epidemic of fake orgasms. What are the things that lead to a fake orgasm? Number one, the woman knows that the guy can't tell. And number two, she has no expectation of the man making her come. So to avoid awkwardness for both parties, she tells a white lie, either through her words or through her actions. So how do we have good communication about this? Well, you could just ask directly. If you're with someone who you're both comfortable talking about these things, that's probably the best way. I'm in a long-term relationship, and I can tell. And just in case I can't tell, my girlfriend will usually volunteer the information. And if for some reason I can't tell and she doesn't volunteer the information, I will just ask directly. But in a lot of situations, the question needs to be asked more delicately. If after a first encounter, the man just blurts out, "Did you come?" the woman is going to feel a lot of pressure to also blurt out an affirmative response. So the way I approached it when I was single was to ask a question like, "How do you feel?" If the woman did orgasm, you can expect superlatives. Amazing, fantastic, wonderful. If she didn't, you can expect words like good, fine, okay, happy. Then I would often ask one or more follow-up questions like, do you feel satisfied? And in response to a question like that, you have to, really discern the tone more than the text. If you get an answer like, "Oh yeah, like enthusiastic," that's good. If you get an answer like, "Yeah," okay, these answers are her trying to let you off the hook for not making her come because she feels uncomfortable asking for what she really wants. If you can honestly conclude that her sexual needs have been satisfied, feel free to move on to stage 5, conclusion, or cuddling. If not, you have some work to do. If you have a decent idea what she might like, go ahead and try that thing. This could be light touching, kissing, dirty talk, more penetrative sex, anal stimulation, cunnilingus, toys, and so on. If you don't have a strong lead, go ahead and ask. Something like, "What would you like me to do to you?" I think is a great question at this point. Now, if she kind of like dissembles, she's like, "Oh, I don't know." Like, she's trying to let you off the hook. Don't let her let you off the hook. She's trying to be polite because she doesn't think that you care enough to make her come. If you want to be a great lover, prove her wrong. Prove that you do care enough to make her come. Okay, now I'm going to address the male ego and male emotions a little bit. Because we're emotional too, we're sensitive too, we're vulnerable too, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we can't let those things force us into making bad decisions. First of all, you can use your ego to motivate you to be the best lover that you can possibly be. It can be a great ego boost when you help a woman come. It can be a great ego boost when she says things like, "You're the best I've ever had." Next up, there's this idea that if you give her a really good pounding, she's supposed to come, right? And if she doesn't come while you're inside her, then it's like, did I do something wrong? Am I inferior? Am I too small? Is she frigid? Loose, whatever. Okay, you gotta let go of that. Okay, it's based on a false premise. Like, if you look at how women masturbate, if you look at how lesbians have sex, penetration is not the main course. It's often skipped over entirely. So it's okay, guys, if she doesn't come while you're inside her. That's not a failure on your part. In my opinion, it's a failure on your part if you give up too easily in this afterplay stage. So, if she has a toy that she likes to use and she's willing to share that information with you, be grateful. It's like getting a cheat code. If she has a certain way that she touches herself and she wants you to kiss her on the neck while she does that, great, wonderful, okay? She's helping you get across the finish line, and that's fantastic. Okay, so one way that the male ego can kind of interfere totally on the opposite end of what I've been talking about. First of all, not every sexual encounter has to end with an orgasm for both parties, okay? Let's say, like, you come and she hasn't, and, like, you're doing your best to communicate and help, and for whatever reason, she doesn't want to or doesn't think she can. That's okay too, right? Like, it's about her. It's not about you. If you're gonna, like, really, like, get upset and try and push and insist that she has an orgasm against her wishes, really, you're probably gonna both end up dissatisfied. There you have it. My 5 stages of a sexual encounter are: 1. Connection. 2. Foreplay. 3. Intercourse. 4. Afterplay. And 5. Conclusion. And I really believe that stage 4, afterplay, is the most underrated, most overlooked stage of a sexual encounter, and the place where you probably have the most room for improvement. So, if you want to be the best lover you can possibly be, focus on that stage 4, really put in the effort, and you'll be well on your way. Thanks to everybody who watched this video. Please like, subscribe, comment, and please also go over there and subscribe to my other channel, Proof of Pod. This has been Beardo for Beardo Speaks. We'll see you again in the next video.